Kia ora, dear listener or viewer, and welcome back to Zealand. Fair warning, Zealand is set within a post-apocalyptic world, and so we will be exploring some of the darker natures of humanity. If you are squeamish or the idea unsettles you, please take your chance now to walk away. For now, we return to Zealand.
Kia ora, Legionnaires, Rycon here, and welcome back to Zealand. This is part 2 of Chapter 7, our season finale chapter. We find ourselves inside of a container, having just narrowly made it inside. A number of dead are hanging outside the bunker at the moment, and we failed to bring in a dinghy full of supplies in the last. We're now standing in here, kind of breathing heavily, with our masks on, covered in ichor and a light dusting of the spory materials from the outside. So, Skulk.
Right, so you just got in. Remember, so it's a bit awkward where you are because it's that first container slopes downward, so you're all a bit of an angle, catching your breath. There are thuds on the outside as you hear the zombies trying to follow you in. At the bottom, you can hear Jin asking what the hell happened.
Bad stuff. Don't open the door. We're covered in stuff at the moment. We're just gonna reassess and see what we can do from here.
Do we have some kind of hose or something, or shower system?
In here? No,
that can bring
I wasn't
us.
expecting
Yeah.
that.
That's what the ocean's for.
We're covered. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, no, I think we get the dinghy in here so we can repair it and go out next time.
Yeah. Things are pretty bad. What we might be able to do is, if we open that door a crack, if we can control that, I've got a spear, I can get that through. Dan, if any hands come through, you can be cracking down with your hammer. Jake, if an arm comes through, you can probably snap that off. I think if we try and use the door to our advantage, we might be able to try and clear it enough that we can get outside, even if it's just for a minute, to run and grab the dinghy. It's going to take at least 3 of us, so Richard, would you be able to help us?
Of course.
So if the 3 of us get on it, we should be able to haul it inside, and that means that maybe Dan, if you and Vedant are watching out for anything that's left, but that's dependent on if we can clear these guys out a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna do this today. Because those kids are going to be angry at us, and we're going to have to deal with them probably tomorrow morning. So
Yeah.
we use advantage of the daylight now, because they seem to not really judging from that canvas stuff. They seem to like to hide away from it.
Yeah.
Maybe it hurts them a bit.
We don't have to kill everything out there. We just need to clear enough so that we can actually open the door.
And they won't come after us. Those kids have split, so we're just got to clear apart. and
Not
keep the
for-
things.
Okay.
Not for a good
Try
8
again
hours or so,
tomorrow
I
as
think.
well.
Yeah. Nick, do you want to see if you can try and keep control of the door as best you can?
Like for the initial one, or you mean like?
Yeah, if you just keep a hold of it until we go out, and then we're going to need you out there as well. If those bodies are close, if you can get them further away, but again, only if it's safe. If it's really bad when we get outside, we have to call it a day.
Maybe
but
you can help holding the door too, because if there's 12 or so pushing against it,
we've got a window. So we crack this thing open. If anything comes through, I'm gonna see if I can spare through the gap, see if I can get any heads, but if arms come through, we just do what damage we can. Make sure that if you've got any wounds, keep them sealed. And make sure that this doesn't get knocked. We're not in a great place for breathing right now. Ready for this thing?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, Nick. 3, 2, 1. I'm just kind of ready now to like just stab through the second that I see.
Right, so the doors do open outwards, so they are pushing, you know, they're sort of keeping it close. So
Okay,
you know, as he unlocks it,
works.
it's fine, they're not pulling. It does take, you know, all his effort pushing uphill to like open the thing as there's multiple bodies on the outside. Well, they're on both doors,
Yeah.
but he's still continuing with like quite literal dead weight,
Yes.
trying to push it open. As he does, you do see there are 5 bodies on the outside.
Yeah.
So just roll to see how well you do. Whomever wants to like have a go as like it's like inching open and they can see. Then they're trying to like, you know, see light. Well, not light. They see the.
I will
darkness.
spare through at the moment. Do I have any good modifiers?
Yeah,
coming
roll
from
plus
there?
40 there. Pretty stationary and you've got a good sight.
All right, that's going to be 140.
Oh,
So let's do some sparing. That is a 94 success.
okay. So I'll just say with that, it takes maybe like a good 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but you do manage to like kill or incapacitate all the ones that are like on the doors themselves. As you know, like they fall, the ones on the door, like as the ones on the opposite door falls where it opened, we got a good view. The ones sort of start moving around as that's where they see the commotion.
Nice. After every stab, I'll shout, pulling out, as I do, because I imagine with this being an angle as well, that there's going to be material kind of like spraying out as I go back.
Blood is like dripping down. You can see it's like,
Yeah.
well, you know, it's not a lot because you're already dead, but it's pooling at your feet, you know, slowly.
It's probably slowly going to start dripping down towards the rest of the bunker. Yeah, that's okay. We got some.
Okay, so about maybe you think 10 agonizing minutes later, Nick can like open door, even if he starts to push it like against the dead bodies that are lying below it. As you all have a good look outside, you get up to the top of the container, you can see that there are like at least a couple of dozen outside. And you can still see from the sides them, you know, coming down. Down the hill. You know, as you just like open the door and have a look, there's just one going thud.
Yeah.
You know, so they are still moving in this direction.
I just kind of look at everyone and say, let's do this quick.
Yep.
And I would stow my spear and run over towards the dinghy with these, the 3 of us this time.
Okay. Can you just roll might? So Nick goes straight for the furthest the body's been dragged a little bit further away. That you got. Just roll might just to see, as everyone does, how he goes.
43 pass.
Okay. So he starts and he just starts hefting and starts moving that one back.
Move that, mum.
Okay. So Jake, Rycon, and Rich, you run towards the dinghy. Can you, Jake, roll might plus 15? Plus anyone who wants to chuck a sigil on that.
35 pass.
Okay, so you 3 start pulling that in. You and Vedan's just shooting things.
Yeah, Verdant will be, and I'll be keeping the entrance clean of anything that drops down from the cliff. Or
I like the one that dropped down.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm presuming that Nick would have given his crossbow to Verdant, so it's a bit not as loud.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, just roll just roll for Verdant.
His shoot is at least 60.
Shoots 60, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's rifle. Yeah.
His rifle's much better.
Okay.
47.
Okay. So he slowly goes, reloads. Doesn't always get a headshot because it's not the thing he's used to. It's not his rifle, but he starts shooting things as you just start making sure everything around you is actually dead. You know, even the ones that Rycon speared, you make sure that all the heads are caved in.
The last thing we need is an ankle bite.
Yeah, oh god. Yeah, or one of them just like falling down the goddamn container and then having to deal with that at the bottom. And I'm not going to give you any more ideas.
Okay. So your main it's your only concern just to get the dinghy into here, locked back up.
And burn the 2 bodies that are really was it the
Mum and Dad.
Bloated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a. If there's time, we're just like focusing on getting this dinghy back. If if Nick manages to get both the bodies out there, then
Okay, just roll another might just to see how Nick does with Dad.
32 pounds.
Okay. So by the time you get the dinghy to the door, having been like overwatched by Vedant, he is mainly just making sure everyone nearby you is taken care of. Nick's got both bodies far enough away, maybe like a good 20 meters, but more from the door. Do you want, so your dinghy's at the door, Mum and Dad is far enough away. Do you want to risk it? Because there's, once again, still dozens. Vedant really has only been taking like maybe like 5-6 shots at most.
If it's at the door, then I'll grab a jerry can and I'll go over and douse
And then Richard will just like try and get the dinghy in that last
Okay.
edge so that pretty much the weight of it starts to carry it, and I'll just say, Nick, watch out!
Okay, yeah.
So that he doesn't get
squashed
by a heavy dinghy making its way down the
I
stairs.
just chuck Jake pop some matches at him so he can.
Right, so Reese, you go in, you grab a jerry can, sprinkle Mum and Dad with some love juice, and then light them up. Okay. Just roll a perception. Just plus 20.
Skulk would be proud.
Me or Nick?
You, since you're doing the dousing.
Plus 28. Oh, 13 pass.
Woo. 13 pass. Oh, okay. As you look back up towards, would you run backwards? You can see the ute still on the thing. The tarp has been covered back up. All of you can still hear the kids shrieking and screaming.
Yeah.
But you can see the tarp is now back on, even though there is now a lot of motion going on inside of that.
I think someone got hit.
Okay.
Nice.
Right. Jake's last one in. Lock back up as... you didn't, of course, make sure the fire did catch, so that's fine. Inside, door's locked. Dinghy has slid all the way down to the bottom.
Everyone still got all your fingers and toes?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes.
The ones I had this morning, yeah.
I wonder why you're so good at grasping things.
It's every 10 points over 100, you gain a new finger.
That's how you've gone past your limits. Yeah. I just drew some extra fingers.
Brownie points to you guys to making a joke right now. Good on you.
3 biceps.
Hey, Jen.
Hello.
So, it worked.
That's my Jen voice.
We got the dinghy. Small problem. There's a bit of mess in here, like quite a bit of mess. We're probably going to need some kind of cleaner. There should be bleach in the storage among the rest of the supplies that they had down here. If there's anything like that, that'd be great. See maybe if Lulu can put it into a spray bottle, mix it up with the grey water.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or any disinfectant. Actually, if there's disinfectant, that works too, but...
Bleach will be good, and then we'll have nice tie-dyed uniforms.
Or even just diesel in worst case scenario to...
We've got a... Well, yeah, we've still got some.
Okay. So there is bleach.
Yep.
And after a while, the door opens like a little bit.
Not the outside one, right? No.
The one down the bottom opens a little bit, and you can see Jen herself has, she got like one of those like the cleaning gloves on, and you can see she's fully covered as well. And she holds out one of those things you spray weeds with.
Yeah, nice. That was
And that's been like filled up. She tells us it's been filled up with bleach. She also, like, after she hands that through, she does give you like a bucket of grey water as well, and just some cloths.
All right.
As she closes, she just says, "Just stay in there. We're just going to duct tape the sides of this thing."
Yeah, good plan.
Like, just so nothing does get back in.
Yeah,
We probably shouldn't leave her for a good couple hours.
Yeah, we can wait it out in here. God, the fumes are going to be freaking terrible. But I guess the filters are going to be working for us. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably very dark in here as well.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because the outside is like airtight, so there's absolutely no light in here.
And I guess we see any other kind of light from the inside disappearing as the duct tape goes on.
Yeah.
She also hands us a torch when she hands it through the sprayer.
We'll say yes.
All right. Oh no,
it's
you've got a torch on your
No, I'll
helmet.
just use the matches.
There's no point doing cleaning if we're just going to miss a corner because it's pitch black.
Yeah. No, both Jake and Nick have
so
torches on their firefighter helmets.
okay. So you spend the next few hours just making sure actually everything, you and the dinghy, is clean. You poured whatever remaining bleach is on any of the blood that's pooled down the bottom now. So it takes a fair amount of time, but you do eventually, get yourselves clean to the point where you feel comfortable enough to go back inside.
I'd still say to everyone else, I'd say it's probably still worth us waiting till the end of the day. If anyone starts feeling feverish, then
Yeah. Just keep the stuff on. You don't want to
then we'll know. Although in saying that, we have been exposed to a lot of fumes, so if you feel like a general headache coming on, that's probably that. But we can at least check each other's temperatures and make sure that we're okay.
Good.
Yeah, so it'd probably wait until the end of the day. Get real hungry.
Yeah.
By the time
Real
the evening-
lightheaded.
Yeah, by the time the evening rolls around, yeah. I mean, I'm lightheaded literally just thinking about it.
Yeah. Maybe you
Like
can
I cleaned the bathroom with poor ventilation. I feel like crap afterwards.
Even respirators, you'll start, it'll just soak into all the
Yeah.
filters and just.
maybe we'll just get the vet and the nurse to give some once over once we rejoin.
Yeah.
Just to check we're all good.
Yeah.
Okay, so by the time evening rolls around, you're informed evening rolls around.
Yeah.
The doors opened, and you can see that 2 bins have just been put outside. Everyone's sort of still keeping their distance, and they just say, look, just chuck your gear in. They've got fresh clothes for you. These can be taken somewhere else, and just more properly disinfected, just to make doubly sure that all the crap that's on you.
It's really good that we get this process down now. I'm impressed with
We're
this.
probably all going to be blonde in a couple of days.
Memes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No. Take everything off. Drop it on in.
Okay.
And then sit down for a dinner.
Yeah. After, of course, you drag your dinghy.
Oh yes, of course, that as well. Yeah, that's gonna sit
Probably
in
more
the
clothes.
centre hall for now. Yeah.
Just butt naked, smelling like bleach.
Yeah.
All the rest.
I would just give you some rice. I'm happy. Yeah.
Okay, so now that you're locked back inside, but you've got the dinghy full of all the tools and equipment that were outside, what's the short and long-term plans now?
I think short term, especially that evening, would be to just keep everyone up to date. Effectively tell them what we experienced outside, what we were able to get so far, talking to the construction crews that are there, seeing if we want to actually get head of departments and stuff like that, because that might be easier, just talking to one person who, has other people that, are going to be able to work alongside them. Just letting them know what we've got, sharing the plans going forwards, deciding what's the most important thing, finding water soon is going to be good. We've got supplies, but it's only going to last us for so long. We don't know how long we're going to be down here for, but we've got a little bit more at this stage. We still need to go back out again, but that's not going to be until things have settled down a little bit. If we fix the dinghy, we can haul it back out there, get out to the boat. We didn't have a ledger for the ship, did we?
Yes, so
We
there
did.
was a manifest.
Right. So we'd want to probably check the manifest for a number of things. Also, just literally taking that manifest to having the manifest up in the main area, where everyone's eating and stuff like that, and having a separate clipboard where people can just write down what they need and what they need it for. So that we can effectively have a shopping list, know what we're going for. I know Lulu wants a microwave, right? For filters and, pretty much everything that we're going to need if we're going to try and do solar, if there are panels on there. And,
I think we should make a plan tonight about what we're going to do with these kids outside.
You need to do something.
Just gonna keep on bringing and creating hordes over and over again. I don't feel like they're going to get bored or move on. I think they're pretty angry at us now.
maybe that's what we do when we do the boat, because we can have one group that's dealing with kids, one group that's going to the boat. It can be a distraction for the rest that are going out to the boat.
Well, it seems like we've got the advantage of the day for those things, so I think if we all just focus on maybe trying to deal with them before doing anything else, could be.
There is also a chance that they might try and do something during the night, so we need to make sure that we have like at least a decent force here, a decent force.
Yeah.
Like at least 4 of our 30 odd. So we'll need to ask around, see if we can get volunteers. I've got 3 Gambesons going at any one time. They're not great, but they're not terrible. Jen knows a thing or two about armor crafting. She helped Scott out for a long time, right?
Yeah,
So
I think this is the more immediate. Like the longer we leave it, the more dead they're just going to keep bringing back.
yeah. Well, how long do we want to leave it until we try for the container ship?
I think we should
Depends what happens overnight, I guess.
Yeah,
Yep.
we should see what happens tonight, and then maybe even first thing tomorrow morning we try and.
We'll sit here outside.
Yeah.
Last time it took about a week to scatter,
Yeah.
so it might be another week.
What if I reckon we keep our air out to the periscope hole? I know it's not we can't use it for sight, but we sure as hell can use it for sound.
Yeah.
So we just make sure that whoever there can at least insulate the area outside, so they can just focus on what's coming down that pipe.
Get some radios as well, just in case.
Okay. Max, who does love being the radio girl, she volunteers to take first shift. But Dan's also keen to be late night radio man, so he's also all right with just going out at the back, enjoying himself.
Alright. Okay. Yeah. And then just try and ride out this first night. See how it sounds.
Okay, so as night properly settles in, Max goes in there. A few mattresses are just placed on like the outside of that little airlock just to make sure it's nice and it's like quiet, so everything can just be focused. Even everyone else in the bunker hears some of the stuff coming in, because there's lots of little air holes. Lots of little. Each room has its own little air hole.
Yeah.
Other than the unborn dogs barking like they always bark, the kids, their sounds very different on this night. Rather than being happy, they sound incredibly angry and quite sad. It's anguish and fury. Even though it's like most of the same words, if you've ever been around an angry kid, when an angry cry is different from a sad cry. They sound very angry. You also hear, even through like the bottom of the front door's little airlock, you can hear that there are tiny fists beating on the outside door for a significant amount of time, maybe like a good half hour before they give up. Throughout the night, anyone who is listening at like the bottom airlock can hear softer but deeper thumps at the front door, but otherwise no one seems to be trying to do anything to the bunker itself.
So thumps like more people hitting the ground.
It does almost sound like that.
Okay. Right. Nice. All right. Well, if we get that information in the morning, we know that we're probably going to have to leave it for longer. Say at least a week. And then we try again.
In case Ute's there, I reckon, if we wait the week, maybe we just go out prepared to light it up, make some kind of Molotovs or something we can throw at them, keep our distance from them, and hopefully they're all in there still, but...
Yeah, V, maybe you can talk to Lulu, see if you guys can cook up something that's going to be, well, maybe a little bit more volatile, but not too volatile. Not the fertilizer bombs. I feel like that on a cliff is maybe a little too risky.
The simple way is we could just make, use some old glass containers for Molotovs, so we've got plenty of alcohol and...
We'll just use a little bit of the fuel.
Yeah, either or.
Diesel will burn pretty good.
Yeah.
So as the days
All 4 of us go.
as the days pass and everyone makes their shopping list and everyone talks a bit more,
I try to have that night. It was probably postponed because of angry unborn children, but try and have like a little bit of a
entertainment.
music night, entertainment, do a little bit of storytelling.
Would you have let any of the people into the office? Because this is now about a week and a half into it.
So we would make sure that whenever anyone's in the office, that the cache is closed up, that it's hidden.
Okay.
Because we probably would need more people to help out with just
probably like the any of the sort of so-called heads of department and
Yeah.
whatnot would be, because there'd be a lot of stuff in there that they could go through and look at their previous, like you're saying, previous plans.
Yeah, so one of the guys, like the head of construction, Barry, write down because I'm going to forget.
Barry construction.
Barry. He had to take a good look at all the tools you've got and everything like that. In this next week that passes, he has a look through their proposed excavation plans, the maps they had of the area, and he seems quietly confident that with enough time, you should be able to find water if you dig far enough, because you've got that lake to the southeast, like quite a bit above you. You've got like a little, well, more of a big pond than a lake.
Yes.
That should be there should be groundwater underneath that, and if it is seeping this way, it'll be good for you. But if you dig enough, but that could take weeks, if not months of digging, depending on how solid the rock is.
So that's a lake in question.
So it's not too far away from where.
Because we're effectively over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, up in these hills.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. We can even.
Oh no, there's another one. There's another one over here as well.
There you go. So there's enough.
We could even make if we've got enough kind of like piping material, we could almost keep a constant supply.
It's a long pipe though.
Yeah, but they will probably have some materials if they, on the boat, there could be, that kind of stuff.
It's true.
Yeah. Piping and stuff. We could even rip up some of the actual.
That's a lot of time on the surface.
So he says
that's a long term.
Yeah.
If nothing else, I mean, him and if they've not, they're quite literally not doing anything, they can see, where to dig in the bunker, look at the rock, and start making their way underneath towards one of these lakes to see if there is any groundwater and see if they can draw it out. And in the meantime, they'll see if they can follow the old excavation, what they said. They can start, at least sketching out where they can put like a new hallway or anything like that, so they don't just make holes anywhere.
Yeah. All right. That's good.
So next week is going to be incredibly loud, since this is an almost completely insulated area with now power tools. But
yes. Yep. Try and hand out what material we can for people to be able to use for earmuffs.
Yeah.
If there aren't any in the storehouse, but yeah.
Not enough for this many, at least.
No.
They try to keep it to not the whole day, so they can just say, right, everyone just bugger off into one of the rooms, close it. They'll do an hour of work a day or something like that, just to start breaking their way through the rock.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So they start, making good headway, and you want to wait a week?
Yeah.
Okay. At about day 5, it's Max's turn in the middle of the night, listening up, and the next morning she comes to the main characters, the main cast, and she says she's pretty sure they've gone, but she can't be sure. She took the last shift, and it sounded to her like there was a dragging and grinding movement throughout the night. She thinks they might have been pulling the ute away.
That's something. Even if it's them.
It's a trap, could be, but, like you said, it's something. I don't think we can stay in here that much longer without trying something.
Could be good or bad, yeah.
Yeah. We've got a big list now. Right, I'm guessing it's pretty well filled out.
It's a good A4 list of what people are looking for. Remember that it is mostly just consumer goods on there, so,
Yeah, it would be sorting through, seeing what is maybe...
ranking by urgency.
Urgency, what's a little bit more frivolous, and just kind of effectively rewrite out a list where this is the most important and this is the least important. And just so that we have that at the ready, and actually physically taking that list with us, and also kind of noting where the containers were so that we might know where to start, but then obviously knowing that stuff's moved around a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If we're going to do this thing today, we'll need to make sure that we have at least some bolt cutters and even some rope. I think it's good to always have some rope.
Yeah. So we repaired the dinghy.
Oh yeah, and then that's
Yeah.
going. Yeah, it's properly up to scratch now.
All right. Okay. So we probably have some of the basic tools that we need to take with us in the dinghy. So like bolt cutters, maybe a hacksaw.
Wrap those up.
Yeah.
Wrap those up. Oh yeah, no. I mean, like the inside of the dinghy isn't inflatable, right? It's like hard bottom.
I think so.
It'd be like hard bottom and like inflated around the sides. Yeah.
But you can bring like a toolbox along, if you for anything you need to unscrew or that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So general toolbox with the hacksaw and some bolt cutters, and maybe a decent length of rope if there is any amongst the storage. How do we want to do this thing?
I think we'll go out first, have a look,
Yeah.
see what we got.
Scout it out
Yeah.
before going anyway.
We can at least move the dinghy into the inner.
Yeah. Into the airlock area. Yeah.
Is this going to be a boat only trip, or is this a potential kid trip as well?
We'll just see if they're there, I guess.
It depends what's happening on the surface.
We need to. We'll just kind of
Maybe if we have
drag the dinghy out a little bit into the kind of valley, and then go up our hill and try and In fact, we could have probably worked on the periscope thingy a little bit during that week,
Yeah.
so we probably could have seen a little bit of around the area.
Yeah, because you were starting to work on the periscope
Yeah.
in that couple of months before. So
a bit of work probably needs to be done outside as well.
Yeah. I guess we'll just go up the hill. Well, I'll sneak up the hill to.
I don't think all of us need to go up there.
Yeah, I'll go up
because,
I'm pretty sneaky.
Yeah, if you make your way up there, we can carry on moving the dinghy.
Yeah, and once you
It's a lot lighter now,
I'll
thankfully.
meet you down by the water.
Yeah, and if we have
I'll just radio through if there's a problem.
if we have the Molotovs ready in here by the first airlock, if we need to, we can grab them and go.
Yeah.
It might be worthwhile. I think we're going to need all of us again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think B
definitely.
would probably not immediately follow, but follow up behind you so he can at least search the area out from there if it's clear. See if he can't see, if they're not in the immediate vicinity, if we can spot.
Yeah, I'll bring some
You
binoculars
parked up on the
and have
horizon
Rick's
or
rifle,
something.
I suppose. I've got mine. Go up there and have a little look around the hole.
So,
Later.
Dan, do you want to be with me, Jake, and Nick then?
Don't know how good I'll be on the.
I'll come with
Shit
you
with my
guys
bum
after
leg.
we've scouted it out. So I'll give you a hand on the boat. We'll just wait for us by the water. Because we might need your help anyway. We'll radio through if we spot anything, and then I'll run down.
Hell, you can probably be in the boat.
Yeah.
It'd be good to have extra hands
Yeah. I can
on
also
the
lend a hand.
container ship. It means that we'll be taking 5 of us out there, including Richard.
Yeah.
If V is back watching us from either up top or from
It's a good
down
idea.
in front, he can keep a good eye on the whole area. If it's
The whole
clear,
time,
if it's clear up there, he can be up the top the whole time.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
yeah.
you can be underneath your little cover up there, V.
So
How much weight can you get on that dinghy if you're looking to bring in stuff back?
we're going to just have to do back and forth trips a lot.
If we can get
That's why it's good if just having V. look.
I think the main thing is getting. We don't always have to go back on it, all of us. So what we would probably do is have one person on the boat at all times. We load up the boat and then we take the boat to the shore. That person unloads everything on the shore, brings the boat back,
Yep.
and then we just do as many as we can in this time, and then we book it back inside. If things look really bad, we can always get to my boat and we can go out for a while and we can come back. So it might be worth us taking a little bit of supplies just in case.
Worst case, you just stay on the container ship as well.
Yeah, maybe half of what we can usually carry for like a daily supply. So it's mites, right? Yeah. So 3 days. So I take 1.5 days worth of food and supply. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so when you get to the outer door, it takes all 6 of you to open it.
Right.
Yep. So it feels at first like they've somehow managed to lock it from the outside.
Yeah.
But as you just keep pushing, you manage to open maybe only like a foot or so, and you see that almost every body Yeah, well, every body that has died has been pushed and piled up against the doors.
God.
And so you're like trying to like open it up against
Yeah.
like 20 plus bodies that are just like put against it. So you can get maybe like 2 feet open just before like it wedges against someone's like back that's been broken.
Yeah. Once we kind of get it open to that degree there, it'd be just looking at those and going, well, shit. But then also just trying to listen to see if we can hear if any in this pile here might still be alive.
You do hear the occasional groan, or although you don't feel or see any movement.
Okay. Right.
Well, let's push our way out
Yep. As hard as we can.
and we'll start dragging the bodies and we'll burn them.
Well, I mean, if we've got time, we're probably going to have to do this pretty quick. We need to obviously be able to get the boat past them. So we need to clear enough so that we can get that
Yeah, but
out.
if we don't clear it completely and we have to speedily get back inside, we can't do that.
No, I know.
So I think if even if we're going to put the boat off for whatever reason, I think the priority right now is removing this barricade that's right in front of our bloody
All right.
And double checking them all.
Yep.
Because there's definitely some that aren't.
Yep, one person will drag it out and the other person will stab it in the head as it comes out. We'll put a
Okay.
pile that's, sort of enough away and we'll maybe do a few piles and we'll burn them all.
Okay, who clambers out first over this mound of bodies?
I'm pretty small. I'll push my way through.
Okay.
I am using effectively my spear to like push up and out and try and pull myself out.
Okay. As you clamber over these bodies, you still see there's quite a few walking, shambling undead in the vicinity.
I just kind of like poke my head out. Just
None of them are
kinda-
paying attention to you at the moment. The other thing you also immediately see is where Mum and Dad's burnt bodies are. There's a ring of bodies that have been placed like all around them
Yeah.
in like a circle, maybe like a good meter out. So maybe like 6, 7 bodies have been placed like in a ring around them.
Love that.
And you can see body parts, limbs, and like there's a head, half a torso have been placed around these as well.
That's so cool.
It's like a tombstone.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh, fuck. Okay. I just try and whisper to the others. We've got a few shamblers. Some weird ritualistic shit going on with Mum and Dad. But other than that, we're going to probably have to deal with the shamblers if we're going to try and burn all these bodies. We might just be able to clear the way.
How many? Roughly.
Yes. Like, so there's a couple of dozen around.
Yeah, so I say there's
If you're going to just get out, how are we going to get the
couple of
boat
dozen.
out?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We need to pull the bodies away from the entrance, just enough, not do the whole burning, but enough to get them away so that we can pull the boat up.
Right.
We might have to deal with more trouble when we get back, but I feel like this is our shot.
Okay.
And I will push up further and just like and kind of tell the others just to try and push me up from behind. Once I get up there, if I can see anything on this pile moving, I'm gonna just try and stab into the head, and then start to clear. But trying to do it quietly if I can, just to hope that the others further away might not notice. But
Yeah. Okay, so it takes maybe a good half hour to clear that space enough so you can open both doors, get the dinghy out. In the meantime, Nick takes pot shots at any one that's within range just to
Nice.
like thin out the herd.
good stuff.
And then you bring the dinghy out. Once it's out far enough, you can look back up and the ute is gone.
Right.
You also don't see, there's still maybe like a few dozen up there as well, shamblers, but it's not the mini horde that was on there a week ago.
Do you still want to go up with Verdant? V, maybe if you just hang back a little bit. Rich, if you go ahead, being as quiet as you can, see what you can. But you don't have to stay up there.
Yeah, no,
Neither does V.
I've got my camera to a normal spot.
Okay.
These things won't see me unless.
Okay.
This is why we shouldn't start fire right now.
All right.
Okay,
We'll
roll
get
stealth
this moving.
plus 30.
Can I do my sneaking?
Yeah.
Plus 30? Sweet. Ooh, boy. 86.
Oh.
Is that 9?
Yeah, 86.
86. Pass.
Okay. So we'll get to, because in the meantime, you can like keep dragging the bloody thing out.
Yeah.
Between
So it's
all of you can do it at a reasonable pace.
106.
We can probably lift it right
116.
close to
Between all of you,
Yeah.
yes. Because it's now, it's empty, so yes.
Yeah.
So you can, like, between the 4 of you remaining, yes, you can lift it and walk with it.
Okay. All right.
We'll do this first. You'll have to eventually just drop it for a bit while, like, Nick takes a pot shot or someone comes close. Jake, you just put a hatchet through a head. They eventually, you do see them, slowly following you as you're the only main interesting thing in the area, but you can keep a good pace to make it to the water. While you very carefully sneak up and around, you make it to the top of the hill without attracting any attention. Do you have a scope or anything?
Yeah, I got my rifle, but I got binoculars.
Oh, you got binoculars. Yeah. Having a look around, you can.
It's on the back.
Yeah. You scattered the whole valley. Still, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these things around. And as you look at the opposing hillside, you can see, since it's still early morning, with the sun coming over that hill, you can see the silhouette of the ute on the opposite side of the valley.
Okay.
Where it's been parked up on that hill.
So just move further away, basically. Might be good.
There's a valley of death between us.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, so with all the hundreds and hundreds, they do seem to be more crowded on that side than this side. You're now at the thinning edge of the horde.
How are the pits looking?
The pits are just covered.
Completely fucking full, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'd run it through to these guys. Well, I mean, like what I'm saying, I guess, reiterate it and just get Vidant to stay up there when he catches up to me. Get him to stay in our little thing that we made, the little hiding bunker, and just keep watch, basically.
Okay.
To see if, like, the horde starts to move towards us and these, in the ocean. I'll start to make my way over to these guys.
I just click back to him in response.
Yeah, because you guys are kind of busy, like.
Yeah, more that you're hiding from zombies at the moment. Probably. Yeah. I'm assuming as much, so I'm gonna like click. Yeah.
Okay. Right, so you make it back down. Vidant much more slowly makes his way up. You can catch up to these guys. I mean, between you and them.
Were you going to stay up there, or were you going to come with us?
I'll come with you guys.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. He's staying there just so that he can. But I give him my radio so he can stay in contact, because he needs to watch this huge horde and see if there's any kind of noise we're making with the boat and stuff. If they start to come down, because otherwise you're going to get trapped up.
Yeah. So Vidant's in his little camouflage hut thingy. Well, not a hut. It's more like a bivouac, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's easy for you to catch up because they've left, like most more of the bodies are in front and to the side of them than behind them, so you can easily have a good jog just to get to them. At the water, you can just all pile in. Motor, as one of the guys with a bit of automotive experience, made sure to check over the motor. It's filled up, it works, and you head out. As you make as that engine goes on. Does serve to like pull a lot of the things that are on there. You can see from the hill, some of the ones that were around Vidant, just look towards the only loud sound now, and they start streaming off, falling down.
Yep.
But it seems like everyone is now coming towards the sound of the engine and just the sight, all the foam being sprayed up, and you guys moving off towards the boat.
What's the condition of my boat that's moored near the container ship?
As you get closer, because it was moored on the far side, I think we said, so no one from this side can see it.
Yeah.
As you come around, it's a little bit banged up with the waves, but the damage seems to be only cosmetic.
All right.
That's a thought, guys. We need to be careful on this boat. This thing's not seeing a lot of sun. Who knows if one of those things might be out here on us as well. We've got to be careful. I just had that thought. Like, what if they're fucking knowing that we're going here for we just got to be careful. Like, we can't just think there's nothing on here now, because of these things being around us all the time.
Yeah.
They might just be waiting there for us, so we just have to be very cautious of that. We need to basically scout out the entire ship before we actually start grabbing materials, I think.
We can make a bit of noise.
Yeah, but these things are smart. But yeah, even if this,
Yeah,
I think we just have to be on edge, basically.
Yeah, there are some of the areas of this that we're not going to be able to get to. They burned through with I think probably like acetylene torches or something like that, where they've kind of cut through some of them. I know you haven't been on this yet, but the containers are. It's difficult to get around.
Yeah, well, I just had a thought that it'd be not a good thing if these things are on here too, so we should be aware of that.
All right.
So while you're doing that, it's going to be hard for us to move stuff back
Yeah.
with all this. While you're doing safety check, I could steer me and Nick back out again. If Nick wants to sort of just sit in the water and try and thin out that horde a bit from the...
Hell, even try and lure them into the waves, get them a bit further out to sea, meaning that we can probably bring the dinghy back up and unload some things without having so many, come for our faces. That's not a bad plan. Or RT when we've got enough for a load.
All
right, so the three of us on board then?
Yeah.
All right.
So you three start climbing up
Good
towards
luck.
the ship.
Okay.
You and Nick go back and pretty much just, do drive-bys and wheelies. Just trying to track as much
Say
attention.
wheelies?
Yeah, wheelies.
Yeah, just
Donuts, everything.
I've been trying to...
Shouting the song lyrics at them and stuff. Thank you, boys.
try not to just spam donuts and drain our fuel supply.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you do what you can, with enough fuel so you can go back and forth. Just to
Like
get as
hit
many.
out, cut the engine.
Yeah.
Take a few shots, reposition if we need to.
Okay. Inside, you two have been
Yes.
on here before, so you sort of know your way with the manifest in hand or a copy of it. You go to where the previous occupants have said this is where this is. These are the easier to reach areas. And you take your time just working down through the shopping list, getting what you can. One or two things can't be found. They seem to have it's a container that have slipped off the edge. But the important stuff seems to be within, well, not easy reach, but they are accessible. If you're going to spend the whole day here just making sure you get the important stuff, first among those I know is your solar panels.
Yeah.
And the electronic stuff as well. There's nothing but you on board, luckily for you.
I didn't even want to say that out loud because I knew it
But then I
wasn't say it because
Yeah, no.
would have just been
That's
let's
good.
go, let's
It
go.
wasn't until you said something.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good thinking.
Okay, so it takes
Captain never left the ship.
It takes several trips throughout the day just to get the stuff back in, but in between each one, you make sure that nothing will attack them once they reach, and you've cleared most of the area in front, and even have done just some proper drive-by, just as they've hit the water, just reaching out and just clubbing them, just to make sure anything won't come near you. You don't want a zombie just washing up behind you and nipping your ankle. As it gets
life saving.
Yeah. Sort of reaching down to pick them up, reaching down and clunk.
Stay in the water.
as you three on that's inside the boat, as you go what you say this is the last lot of the day. You've already got a room's worth full of crap just sitting on the beach. So it's now the most difficult to reach things where you actually have to clamber down onto a pile of containers that have fallen into the water.
Yeah.
It's a bit treacherous, but as you're on the far side of it, one of you's shimming down a rope, two of you holding up. You three see out to the ocean in proper deep water. I know you're already a K out, but this was a sandbar. Deep into the ocean, you see a commotion. You see first a whole lot of just foam and everything bubbling up
Back to the beach.
onto the water, and then you see a submarine coming out from the water.
Zombie submarine.
But that's one that's a good.
How far away do we spot that?
That's a good K and a half, if not more.
Yeah.
So at first you're what the hell is that? And then you see the whole thing just. It's not just a periscope. The whole thing comes and rests out of the water. And it takes that 10 minutes. So if you want to shimmy back inside onto the boat, you've got the time. Because it takes a while for it the whole thing to actually emerge from the water.
And I'd kind of say to Jake, hey, did anyone mention? They said ships, right? But they were what did they mention? Just out of curiosity.
No one mentioned specifically a submarine. A lot of them said they were aircraft carriers or battleships, destroyers, and just more general troop carriers and cargo ships.
Yeah.
But they said a whole massive fleet.
We need to get inside.
You think that's with them? You're in the boat.
You,
right?
yeah, you three are.
Dan.
No,
It's
yeah,
you
Nick,
three.
It's us. Yeah.
You three are on.
Oh, it's Nick. Sorry.
Nick's-
Yeah. My bad.
I took the archer.
Yeah. The archer. Yeah.
He's just getting easy XP.
That's
He's already 20 levels ahead.
and we shouldn't be talking to them, right? We shouldn't be communicating.
I don't think so. They never really worked out well for us to communicate to any sort of military person.
No. Okay. Do we wait or do we signal them now? I imagine they've seen it on the boat, right?
Oh, I'd say so. It's hard to miss.
We maybe shouldn't use our RTs,
No, I wouldn't say so, yeah.
Let's just go back in.
but we're going to have to call them to
Right.
us.
It's the other side of the container ship.
Yeah, so it's on the far side. So you're between a container and the coast.
Yeah.
So from your angle at the moment, you can't see anything.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
not unless we go
Yeah.
way bow or stern of the container.
I'm going to see if I can get eyeballs on the others. If I can signal them to come for us, then that'll work.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out, that side of the container ship to see if I can catch sight of the dinghy.
Okay. It takes a while, but eventually one of them will look. I mean,
Yeah.
they're quite concerned about the people on the boat.
Yeah.
So you do eventually see, and Nick does go, oh, hang on, something's
Yeah.
not right.
So I kind of try and I like have my hand up to him, and then I kind of try and point to the RT, and I go,
With binoculars, Nick goes, we shouldn't RT them.
and I do try to signal for them to
Funny if he said
to
that.
come into the boat.
What?
Is it broken?
Yeah. Actually, after doing that for a little while, I just kind of go back and I go, Jake, you can sign to Nick, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, just yeah.
Yeah.
There is a submarine.
Nick goes like, is there
Well,
something I shouldn't be
there is a
talking about while
submarine.
you're on the boat in the middle of the ocean?
It's just then when Vidak goes, you guys coming back yet?
Yeah, he has no idea. Yeah.
Yeah, or Nick's like, hey, you trying to test to see if your RTs are working? I haven't heard from you yet. Yeah,
Telling me your RT's broken?
yeah, I know. I go get Jake and get him to try and pass the message on.
Okay. Nick's, from what you can see.
Submarine.
Yeah,
Don't
so
use
from
RTs.
with you looking through binoculars, you can see what he's signing, and he says, "Fair enough." They'll come on this side.
Sounds like you found
Signing, fair enough. Yeah.
They'll make sure they're on this side of the
hidden
boat.
container of Subway cookies.
He just says, he asks, "Are there any other ships coming?"
Can't see.
Okay.
Can't see anymore.
Okay. If you do go to have a look through your binoculars, you can see far to the north, just on the horizon, you can see silhouettes coming over the horizon.
Oh boy.
Let's take our shit and go.
Yeah,
Let's
we
take a
got-
couple of up,
yeah,
grab us
yeah.
up, and then go back to
You've
base.
probably already seen us, right? On the
No,
submarine.
no.
Yeah, it's
No,
a kilometer
hell no.
away, maybe.
I mean, they were seeing the boat.
They would have seen this container ship, but they would not have seen
That's
us.
what I mean. Like,
So if we leave,
keeping an eye
if
on
we
that
leave
and
now,
see this dinghy.
we can get our stuff back to base and hide.
Get
Yeah.
the dinghy, go. They shot
I'm
friggin'
gonna-
Lulu and the rest out of the
Yeah,
water.
yeah,
We do
that's
not want to
not
be in the
what
water when they
people-
get here.
I'm gonna as soon as we get to that, I just said as soon as we get back to land, I'm gonna gap it up the hill and get Vidak. I'm not gonna radio. I'm just gonna go find them
Okay.
and get him back inside.
All right.
Hurry.
Okay.
Okay.
So we will position ourselves to be able to get the rest of this equipment onto the dinghy and to get us on there as well.
No, it's a bit trickier from this side because normally you would go around the other side of the boat to get picked up. So it takes a little bit longer. It does happen quite successfully. On your way back, Jake, looking through the binoculars, you can see they are rapidly approaching. They're still kilometers and kilometers far away, but they are making good headway coming down the coast.
The submarine or the actual fleet of.
The fleet, the submarine's just, well, you can't see the
Yeah.
submarine anymore, it's
Yeah.
on the other side. It's not too difficult getting back into base. It takes all of you,
Move
piling
ship.
all the crap up. It is a slow walking pace. You have full that thing far it wouldn't float on the water. That's how heavy it is.
Yeah.
But Dan and Nick has done a good job to pull everything they could in and killing them. It's still you will have to one of you just stop, kill one. Nick just stops, takes another shot.
Yeah. It would be like two on one side, two on the other, just kind of lifting the boat, trying to carry it.
Yeah. So it does take a while, and by the time you're in, you can by the time you're next to the door, having moved more bodies away that has fallen off the cliff, you can see that one of the smaller destroyers is within sight now. that's just how long it's taking you dragging a full bloody dinghy 100
Terrifying.
meters across sand.
Terrifying sentence.
It has-
one of the smaller.
And there's also well, the thing is though, we haven't been dragging it so much as we've been carrying it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
It's
I guess it would
heavy
still
enough
be-
that it
yeah.
wouldn't float. Because
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
done like maybe 5-6 trips for
But
that
there would
crap.
still be a pretty sizable foot traffic track going back up this way.
Yeah. That and like 3 dozen corpses.
Yeah, there's corpses all over the beach. Yeah.
They're sleeping.
So Richard's sprinting ahead, to
Yeah.
get V. Okay.
Yeah, so the cliff is
Actually,
mostly...
we've got a bit of a rapport now by kind of like signals we do with our like voice as well. Like little calls.
Bird signals.
Yeah, I would have done that,
Yeah.
and rather than run right up to him, I would just be like towards when I get to this hill circumference and just do it, and then wait till he's
Quack.
and just fucking come on,
Quack.
yeah.
So that's fine. He hobbles his way down. He reports that not much has changed during it is daytime after all. The hill on your side is now mostly clear since all the ones that were on your side have been pulled towards, it's either underground or to the water. So you can make your way easily down, move just the last few bodies across and get the dinghy back inside. And it just slids down and funks its way to the bottom of the container.
Once we're all inside, I do like a basic, like a smaller cleanse of us, like not like a full blown one because we haven't come in that much contact. But yeah, still wash our stuff and
I assume
then
we probably leave the sprayer now in the entranceway.
in the entranceway, and then when we make it back inside, taking off our gear and putting it into the drums to be processed. Yeah. Yeah, give it a little while after a disinfection and then, knock and try and go through that process.
Right. So so after a wee while, doors open, your new clothes, drag the dinghy out. Everyone starts, not everyone piles in, but everyone's like, oh, and look, you start sorting out all the stuff, take some to the spare room, some just to the main room to be worked on, some to the office, the horticultural room, so it's a whole lot of like the rest of the night is pretty much just spent sorting crap out.
Yeah. And during that time, I would try and have a chat with Lulu, with the others, and effectively tell her what we saw. That, just off the coast, there was
Do we want to
Gets on permanently
submarine.
listening to comms.
Yeah, there was a submarine, there was a destroyer, there seemed to be the rest of that fleet, and they were over this side.
do we want to barricade the door somehow, or put some protection like how we did previously, like near the front of the door, just in case they find us overnight? Just put
If they... shit. V, do you want to set up your trap again?
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, thanks.
Do we have? Could we chain or wedge something into the handle of these doors so that it couldn't be opened easy?
Well, they lock from the inside, so they'll have to pull it open. But yeah, you can you can reinforce the doors from the inside so they're more difficult to open.
Let's do that.
Just try and make it seem like they could just be like a rusted shut, abandoned shithole if they do end up coming.
Well, we'll stay glued to the comms tonight and be very quiet, I think, tonight.
Yeah.
Keep everyone in the furthest common areas, from the door.
Once again, the concert has been cancelled.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Hey,
Gives me more time to practice.
we got a lot of the stuff, though. There was only a few things on that list that I think we weren't able to get, so that was successful. We got what we needed.
We did really good.
It's just there.
We've got some big concerns now.
Yeah.
The floating thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what this means. I mean, maybe they're just going around all the coast, seeing if there's any survivors left at the moment.
But didn't you mention that there was a base slightly up further north? Somebody did? South?
The Taranaki oil fields.
Yeah, but also
That's very simple.
I thought it was a military
yeah,
base further up north.
there's a small one by what's it called? Past Midawai. The
Port Elbers?
No, it's like on just by the beach. Basically, it's very small military encampments.
Well, we would have come past that when we went to Port Albert, so
yeah,
it's obviously not active.
It could just be that they're just doing a check of all military bases down the coast as well.
Yeah,
Maybe.
No, they could have seen this bloody container ship and gone, all resources.
Also that.
Well, that's probably
So they might just be.
shit. It's
We've
going to be
got all-
crawling with
Luckily, we
people.
did what we did now.
I say it wouldn't be crawling for long. It's
Yeah.
gonna be. They're
They'll
gonna
move
strip
in,
it.
No,
see that
no.
we've got all the stuff we need, so we're just damn fucking lucky that we managed to do that today.
They'll take everything, or as many containers as they can. They will bloody
Well, we
strip
got,
it for parts.
yeah, we got Max to thank for
Yeah.
keeping her ears out. There's only a few barrels of fuel that are outside still that we need to get in, but beyond that, there's nothing else. So we can sit tight.
Well, let's get those barrels in now, if we can.
All right.
Yeah, no,
We
yeah.
have to
If they're going to come,
find people. If they come for a walk, they might not find us, but they might see those.
That's true.
we don't want to risk.
The freaking camouflage outside's pretty much destroyed.
Yeah.
We can try and pull what we can across. Make this
Let's
less
try and hide.
How much of the day was left?
A couple of hours.
Okay. If we're quick, we can do it now.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so you go grab the oil barrels. A couple of you also go just to disguise as much as you can from the trail, the dinghy left.
And the dead. You know?
The dead are fine. There could
Yeah.
be corpses all over beaches, all up and down here.
Yeah, it's true. But not like just try and like disperse
I'm
them.
not gonna go onto the beach. You can do that.
No, I just meant near the entrance. You know how there was that huge pile of them? You know, it'd be pretty obvious if there was a huge pile right
Well,
outside.
there's also a weird ceremony
Yes.
circle
it's-
of corpses.
Shit.
If they see that shit, they're probably just going to go, well,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're gonna.
there's some kind of
It's
messed
fine.
up graveyard.
Yeah.
I mean, moving shit actually takes a lot longer than you think. I mean, think about when you move a house. You know, it's like a whole day when things are boxed up and
We have maybe an hour until sunset, and
Yeah.
that's when we have to deal with the kids. So
Let's just get the barrels in.
Just the barrels.
And
yeah.
whatever we can, and try to camouflage up a little bit, I guess, if we can. But
Yeah.
let's just get the fuel
They
in.
come, tonight, let's just hope the kids decide to deal with them, or they decide to deal with the kids. That's not either of a problem.
Yeah.
Yep. All
We
right.
have, like, anything that can be used as paint. Not necessarily paint, but just like shitty grease or.
There'd be some paint from the sign maker, right?
Yeah. So what do you want to do with it?
I'm just thinking we could also just, like, classic Walking Dead, just on one of the doors, just in case. Like, dead inside, do not open.
Well, that might work, or it also might be they might just be like open it up and then just chuck explosives down there.
Yeah,
That's true.
I think we should just hunker down
Leave it.
as quiet as
Yeah,
possible.
Best bet right now is to hide. So let's get the fuel so we can last longer if we have to wait people out.
Yeah.
Other than that, maybe we'll try to cam up a little bit, but like you're saying, there's
Most
a big
likely-
circle of dead bodies there. There's a pile of dead bodies
That's
there.
probably better camo than we can. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
and we'll just pray that maybe they might even come ashore. Maybe they'll just be dealing with this
Yeah.
barge and then move on. So we'll just see what happens overnight.
Yeah.
And get Max to we'll just all be in the radio room listening together.
Pretty much. Yeah. And then maybe tomorrow morning we can try and get eyes on it. But
Yeah, use the periscope, fix it up, finish it for once.
Okay. So as the night passes and everyone does shifts.
No drilling.
yeah.
And everyone does shifts in the radio room. It's from you've eventually find a channel that they're using channels rather, and it seems to be just that's of course inter-ship communications. Not a lot of it, and very military, very brisk. A lot of code words are being used. A lot of it's just ready checks, making sure there's no one sneaking up on them. How's things?
Accents? Accents at all?
Kiwi, Australian. And a variety of North American accents. Yeah, you.
I imagine we're all probably listening in.
Oh, yeah.
Advently.
Yeah. So it just seems to be a standard night of them just doing their checks, making sure everything's fine for the fleet. When you start listening, it's more just making sure everyone's in position. Then afterwards, making sure everyone's got eyes on and just making sure everything's fine for the night. As daybreak hits, you do hear about getting teams being readied, but with the code words they're using, you're not sure where those teams are going.
Are there any code words that we've heard before? Because we've heard some rubber duckies and other weird.
Nothing that
Code
you've
words.
heard. do you want to inquire from the people from Great Barrier?
Yeah, I was going to say I would probably try and talk to Lulu about like the two of us going and just briefing everyone to say this is what the situation is. Trying to keep panic at a minimum, because I know that these are people that have lived with them for most of the last few years, but also they just had a pretty explosive breakup. So just trying to break the news to them that they're here as subtly as possible, but also if you have any information that can help us, that would be vital to our survival here.
Okay, one of the people there, Susan, she did work with the comms, and so she doesn't know all the code words, as most of them are from the North American contingent, but when it does get away to the teams being readied, it seems that at least for now, as dawn breaks, that they're going to the boat, the container ship.
Right. Well, we didn't leave any notes for them or anything like that, so let's hope that they just take what they need and move on.
It's like, I'm on a tag. Jake was here.
Yeah.
Third of blah blah.
Jake was here, by the way, live in a bunker just on the shore.
Drew a map, sketched a picture of the entrance.
Not 3 times to...
Yeah.
But what I probably would do, again, taking Lulu as maybe a representative of the others, and sitting down with our team and discussing if we do need to defend this place, what do we have in the way of weapons? And people who know how to use them. I know that there was some ammunition that we got from down under. Yeah, but there wasn't much, right?
Not much ammunition. V has used up most of them in his experiments.
Yeah.
And not. But I think I did say only like one handgun or something. There wasn't many firearms down there.
Yeah, we just got to hope then that the amount of dead in the area are a deterrent for them to want to try and explore these hills.
Absolutely.
The cats are covered, so that's good for us too. But yeah, I've got a pistol.
Look, there's plenty of beaches around, so they're here for the container ship.
Yeah.
They might come to shore for a little bit, but like I'm saying, everything is covered.
Yep. All right.
Okay, so what do you want to do? Wait them out, or do you want to go out in the morning?
Leap tight. No, I'm staying.
Wait a while. Listen on the radio, and if we hear, shipping out sort of orders and stuff like that, then let them.
Just probably getting Suze in there with Max to be a liaison.
Okay. It does, from the chatter they're picking up, it does seem that the fleet's going to be here a while. The intent from them is to strip this boat down to non-existence. They're going to use literally every inch of it, even the metal. They're going to pack, pretty much like disassemble the entire boat, containers and everything in it, and then move on. So they might be here for a considerable amount of time.
In that case, it'd be talking to the construction team to plan out, or rather check in to see how the well project is going, and then from there trying to develop what our long-term hygiene solution is going to be for waste, but also for keeping ourselves clean and trying to like manage our water usage as best as possible.
Then we're also going to have to be being careful with noise. We don't want to make anything that can be picked up on.
Yeah. Maybe we were just going to have to halt work for now entirely,
absolutely.
Which is not. We're going to have a miserable few weeks, maybe longer, depending on how long they're going to be here for. So, in that case, we need to try and keep morale up as much as possible.
Yeah.
We need to keep these people entertained. I know that sounds dumb, but yeah, quiet entertainment. We should go through, find what books we can find. Even if we set up just like a small library.
The Gathering tournament.
I mean, what
start, you can start like an interview process thing of like just or sharing stories about everyone, so we know.
Yeah, I think that's
everyone's story of what's happened in their entire
I think that's
saga.
important. We just need to try and keep morale up as much as possible, because it's only going to take
exercises.
Yeah, it's only going to take one person in here for it to start to go bad and spiral out of control.
There's
Played enough Dwarf Fortress to know that one person can screw up a whole lot.
There's definitely things we can do temporarily with waste and things like that.
Yep.
In the sense of like
I mean, we can still go out a little bit.
I probably will just get it's not that hard to set up a compostable toilet with a lot of sawdust that we have and sand and stuff, and so that could be fine, and it can reduce like the smells and re-put it into compost.
It's gonna be hard, but I think that's what we just need to stress to everyone that we talk to, that this is not forever.
Yeah, it's just gonna work as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the excavation, they said they'll just go proper manually with a couple of picks.
Yeah.
So there's no
heavy
machinery. Yeah, just Minecraft it, and they'll just, with that, they can at least make sure, everyone who can be kept busy.
Yeah. When I'm not cooking, I'm gonna be helping out with construction.
Yeah, so everyone can just, everyone can take turns, spend an hour.
Because there's so many people and there's only sort of one area to attack at a time because limited tools and stuff like that. It would just be
cycle in, cycle out.
Yeah, so it'd be pretty hard work for like an hour.
Yeah, and then you're tired,
and you're off.
And it means people can't be, they're too tired to cause a fuss.
Yeah, and pretty much we're all going to smell horrible for the time being, but we need to try and keep water usage down to a minimum until we break through and get a proper well.
Yeah. Okay. 2 weeks later.
Oh boy.
You've made significant headway on that passageway, trying to go towards the nearest lake.
200 mil, we've gone this.
Well.
And at that point, Sue and Max say they've heard from the chatter. They're now moving on. It seems they've gotten everything they possibly could from the boat, and they're finally moving on.
All right. God, we probably 2 weeks of this, we're all a bit of a mess.
All right. I reckon everyone, we can take a couple of days off.
Yep.
From all this work, let's get some people outside.
Yeah, definitely. I think if we go out first, make sure it's clear.
We'll clear it out. We got the bodies. Make sure they're gone. We'll go dispose of all the bodies.
Yeah.
And then small groups will sort of come up and spend sort of an hour outside, and then go back down. We'll just cycle them through.
As long as the body's away, if there's any material around, we'll need masks for folks.
A lot of them might be dead because I'm sure a lot of them were drawn to this attention of all these people working on the boat last year, so we've been taking them out.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's probably not much left, to be honest, in there. That's one positive.
Yeah, and we need to have a look at where that ute is, if it's still over the other hill.
Yeah.
All right.
I imagine these kids probably wouldn't have approached when there was just so many of these people, it seems.
Who knows?
Who knows, yeah.
All right. Well, give it an hour or so. We'll gear up and go check things out.
Okay. And as everyone gears up and opens the door for the first time in 2 weeks, that is where we will end off this session.
So bright. So bright.
I feel sure it's so bright.
Well, we managed to dodge a destruction for the time being, perhaps, or maybe it's all a ruse to lure us out of our little hidey hole. Who knows? We'll find out in the next No.
I hope.
Yeah, I know, it's freaking terrible.
Sue the secret agent.
Yes. Join us next week. We've got 2 more of these to go this chapter. We'll see what awaits us on the outside. For now, I've been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay breathing.